Okay, so I am gonna do a brow lamination on myself today to show you what this service can do for brows. It is a game changer. For me, I found this service probably about, I don't know, 7 years ago. And ever since I've been doing it, I feel like I get the most compliments on my brows. I was somebody who over tweezed, over waxed back in like the early 2000s. And now I regret it because I know the fuller, fluffier brow is in and I want that look, but doing that with the makeup, it's just a lot of work. It takes me probably about 10 minutes to do that myself. So the lamination will take my brows from this, where they're not very lifted, they're kind of skinnier right now, and these hairs usually grow down. So by lifting them, it's gonna really give a more fluffier brow, and then tinting is gonna add that definition and fullness that I'm missing, because I have little gaps in my brows that I've been trying to grow in for years, and I don't think they're growing in. So this is a great service to try if you're wanting like a fuller, fluffier, lifted look. And now that I'm in my 40s, please lift anything up. But I'm gonna show you. So this is before, and then I'll show you after. So the first step, we're going to add the first solution to the brows, and this is the lifting solution. So this solution is what's going to open up the cuticle and make the hairs flexible so you can brush them or mold them whichever direction you need to. So we're first gonna apply this to all the hairs. So I always like to make sure I saturate all of the hairs, especially if a client has fuller, thicker eyebrows. You wanna make sure that you're putting enough product on there so that way you're getting all those little hairs underneath as well as on top.
This solution is a little stinky. It comes from pruning, the pruning process that I use for hair, for any still do curls. You don't see this often, but it comes from the same chemistry of changing the way the hair strands lay. The first solution is to open up the cuticle, make the hairs flexible and moldable, so that way you can brush them and keep them in that flexible look.
Now the saran wrap holds the warmth in, so you get evenness on the processing of the solution. We'll go ahead and do the other eyebrow. We're gonna check the brows at the halfway point just to make sure they're processing correctly. One of the things that I really make sure is trying not to over process somebody's eyebrows, because this is still a chemical process and you wanna make sure that you're going to a professional who's been doing brow laminations for a while so they understand just the integrity of the hair and making sure that you are timing everything correctly. Okay, so now they've processed the right amount of time, and everyone's different. So everyone processes at a different time depending on quite a few things: the thickness and fullness of the brows, the coarseness of the brows. It depends on, I would say, like the thinness, like the density of the brows too. So we're gonna remove step 1. So as you can see, they're already getting a little bit fluffier. They're lifting up and they're staying that way without me having to really brush them and use product. So now I'm gonna put step 2 on. Step 2 is what sets them. So we're going to apply that in the same direction. Now the hairs are looking very beautiful, smooth, lifted, and now it's time to remove.
all waxing and tinting at the end, so any hairs that are outside of the shape will be removed.
Okay, now that they're lifted, we're gonna go ahead and tint them. And that, like I said, that's gonna fill in a lot of those little spaces where I'm missing hair. Okay, now that they're done processing, they look kind of crazy right now, but once we wipe off the tint, they're gonna look very natural and just filled in, like if you just put your makeup on. Now you can do a brow lamination without a tint if you already have dark brows and you don't really have any spaces to fill in like me. You can definitely just do the lamination and shaping or just the lamination by itself. I like mine pretty filled in, so I leave the tint on a little bit longer. Look at that nice fluffy brow, filled in brow. They may look a little darker the first day, but they will lighten up. We're gonna finish off the brows with a little bit of brow conditioner. This is something I do recommend for home care just because it helps to keep your brows lifted and healthy. It's got a lot of good things like collagen, and it just helps to build the hair bonds and just keep those brows nice and healthy throughout brow laminations, tinting. It helps keep the color a little bit longer with the tint, and it just does a good job of grooming the brows in the morning. I love to just brush it in my brows in the morning, and then I'll brush it in my lashes, and it's just a good way to add conditioner or that moisture you need to your hair, because brows and lashes are hair, like I've mentioned before, so they need that conditioner, especially if you're doing a chemical treatment like a brow lamination or a lash lift and tint. And so it just adds those extra little vitamins you need to keep those brows looking healthy. All right, that's it. That's the final look. They'll be a little dark for today, and then within one wash, it'll look just like a really soft color. I always explain to my clients when they leave, today we don't wash the brows. We don't get them wet for 24 hours. And I put some conditioner in there, so no need to do it tonight. And then tomorrow, after the time that you got them done, you can go ahead, after those 24 hours are up, you can go ahead and do whatever you need to do. You can dunk your head in a pool if you want, but you want to just, when you get up in the morning, you want to wash your face, do your skincare, and then you're just going to brush your brows with your little spoolie, and then they're pretty much set for the day. You can add a little bit of product to them if you want, but I feel like for the first couple weeks, it's not necessary. I like them just the way they are. So if you have any questions about brow lamination, DM me, let me know, and I can answer those questions for you. But this is the final look.